Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, bringing you batch 8A of the TRO 2021 donational indicators. Okay, as you know, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And finally, when you're using indicators or when you're trading, doesn't matter if you're using my indicators or not, always make sure your risk management is in place so you never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one particular trade. So, we've got a bunch of multimeters this time around. I decided to load it. I made a bunch of multimeters to load you guys up, or girls, or non-binary traders, with some multimeters so you can produce your own dashboards. So you can see here we have 5 different multimeters. We've got close minus open, close minus previous open, close minus the previous high, close minus the previous low, and close minus the previous low. So usually I'm on the 1 or 5 minute chart, and sometimes I want to know what's going on, say on the H4 or H1 or D1 charts, or just to get an idea. So I've got these indicators up in the top right hand corner, but usually I'm focusing my attention on the chart, on the candles down here. Well, I can just kind of glance up, and I don't even have to read the numbers. I can just look and see, if there's more green over here, then I know price is going up. There's more red over here, I know price is going down. If I see that it's kind of mixed, then I can say, wait a minute, something is must be ranging, or maybe I better take a closer look. So right here, I can see M15 was different. So if I click on the M15, and actually I added these indicate the buttons after I sent out the templates, because I didn't want this to interfere with what you're seeing here. This is for the documentation purposes, but you can just plop this indicator on your chart, no problem. So you can see here, looking at M15, you got this big down bar. And so if you notice, price just went, there was a bunch of green, now it's more red. So you can see price could be struggling right here. But I'm looking here, there's a nice big, what I would call a return bar. Price is already returned through this bar. Looking at these levels, maybe price might want to test here. You can see here, it's almost tested this wick zone. So right now, I probably would just stick and just wait to see if price continues to drop. If not, maybe it'll break the high. Say if we're trading the lowest highs here, and that looks like the lowest high level right there. So we can see if price breaks that coming up. Or you might want to look at M5, and there's the lowest high there, and it didn't quite break it. So once again, looking here, glancing at the chart, it's saying, wait a minute, be careful if you're about to go long. And so that's how I use these indicators, these multimeters, just to give me a heads up, or a, hey, take a look type of signal. And then when you really get into it, you can see, okay, we're just talking 1 pip here on the previous low, so we're barely above it. And the other neat thing is, like with these indicators, since these 4, you're comparing it to the previous candle, so you can see if price is rocketing up or down based on the previous candle in each one of these time frames. So also have the multimeter GPS. You probably know when I have the magnified market price across the top, I always have close minus open, high minus close, and close minus low. So right now we're early in the trading day, so these numbers are pretty much going to be the same. But you can see here as you go into the lower time frames that these numbers are going to change a lot more rapidly than these numbers, because these will change high minus close, close minus low every bar. But when you're trading a day, this will only change when prices making new highs or new lows. Which, that's the other thing, when you see this go to zero, either at this level or this level, price is making a new high or a new low. And these are in pips, not enough room to make it in points, otherwise it'd be spread across the screen. The ALBH, this is below high and above low. This is an indicator I wrote because you want to know, a lot of people talk about trending and ranging markets. And so I was looking at that, and I don't like to talk about trend. I just don't, because it depends on the time frame. So what I thought was, once again, using highs and lows, what can I say that objectively everybody would say, well, yeah. So this is why I wrote this indicator. So for the last 3 bars, this is going to tell me how many bars, or if the current price was below, how many of the highs, and above, how many of the lows. So right now on M1, you can see it wasn't below any of the highs. See, it broke above, but it's above all 3 lows. So what's that telling me? That's telling me price is moving up. And so you can start to see that. So here on M5, you see it's above or below 2 of the last 3 highs, but it's above all 3 of the last 3 lows. So that's telling me, maybe we might have a breakout pending here on the M5. And some reason I switched pairs when I clicked on something. So you can see here, if these numbers are all the same, then price is definitely ranging. But if you see one of these numbers go to 0, then price is broken out of the range. And I just put 3 here because it was an easier number to see the actual action. But one kind of cool thing about this indicator I wrote is, if you set my bars to 0, it will use what's called the visible bars on the chart. So however many bars you can see, it'll use that. Now this says 41, but on my chart, I always have the chart shift on. And if you hit F8 common, you can put that chart shift. Well, if you remove that, then you see price goes over here, and then this count should be more accurate to how many bars you can actually see on the chart. It's an internal variable that MT4 does. And so right here you can see 41. But usually when you're trading, you're going to probably want to maybe look at 3 to 5 bars. Let's just put this to 5. So you can see, so we're above the last 5 M5 lows. We're below 3 of the 5 highs. It'll just give you some idea whether or not price is staying within the range or breaking out of the range of the last, in this case, 5 bars. I think it's kind of a neat little indicator. And once again, depending on how you trade, you might want to use some of these multimeters. If you're, really looking at a certain price action, you can mix these. You don't have to use them separately. So you can say maybe you want to use close minus open, and you might want to use that along with this indicator here too. The next one is one I use a lot, it's the range. I've updated it for 2021. You notice it's these colors here. The cool thing is it tells you if it's not breaking out of the previous range. In other words, let's say the previous range was 5 and this range is only 4, then you're just going to basically get your up, equal, and down candle colors. I don't know why I didn't make that default dim gray. But now, if it's breaking out, though, you have a threshold color. So if the current range exceeds the previous range and the candle is an up candle, we'll use threshold up color. And if the current range exceeds the previous range and it's a down candle, we'll use the threshold down color. So you can see here on H1, you can just look here. You can see the range is bigger and it's down. So that's why we've got the threshold color. On M5, we've got the threshold color. So you can see here the range is bigger and it actually broken out above that range. So you can see, and since it's still closed, it's still above open, it's green. And that's, I kind of like this indicator. It comes in handy, especially when you're doing reversal trades within an hour. You can see whether or not your range for the hour is about done. So like if you see maybe 25, like at this hour today, we've got a 16 pip range on H1 on the pound. I'd say this is pretty much done. I wouldn't be thinking about shorting more this hour. Okay, next indicator is the retrace indicator. And you notice all these are price action indicators based off of open, high, low, and close. No esoteric formulas being used here. So what's the retrace tell you? Well, let's see here. We've got, first let me show you, we've got down breaks and up breaks. Excuse me. So we've got a down break on the weekly. So if we shift over to the weekly, you can see it's starting. That's weird. Is that really a down break? No, it's just going down. Down break is red. Okay, so it's going down. So you can see here it's below the previous close. So it's retracing. But you see on the monthly, we've had a down break. And what that means is we have gone below the previous month's low. So we've retraced from the close all the way down below the low, and that's why we have the down break color. So once again, pure price action. And there's some more price action things I've been working on, and I'll probably release them next month. In fact, there's one, I will give you a hint, in the TRO build 1350 file, the latest one I just released, there is another multimeter there for all the boys and girls and non-binary traders that you might want to take a look at. But you're going to have to dig it because you're supposed to be pirates and going after those treasure chests. So if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. And just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.